Senator Mackenzie.
Thank you very much, Mr Acting President. Deputy President, I rise as National Party Senate Leader to take note of the historic first annual ministerial statement on regional Australia delivered by the Deputy Prime Minister in the other place on October the 8th, tabled today. As the National Party Senate Leader and a very proud rural Australian, I welcome and endorse this statement. It is our plan for a rural and regional-led economic recovery. The Nationals are proud barrackers for the bush in good times and in tough times, and the 2020-21 budget is one for regional Australia. It is a plan to ensure we emerge post-COVID in a stronger position. 2020 has been like no other year in living memory. Many of our regional communities continue to navigate through years of drought. Then communities across northern Queensland face the worst flooding on record. Large areas of the country were ravaged by summer bushfires, which tragically claimed 33 lives and decimated more than 17 million hectares. And we sadly saw the death of more than 1 billion Australian native animals. Then, as the recovery process started, an equally tragic pandemic swept the world. It brought so many of our already hurting rural and regional communities to their knees. However, out of every tragedy and hardship, there is cause for hope. This is an opportunity to review, an opportunity to reset our targets and goals. And from the rubble of these hardships, we've already seen the opportunities we've been able to create with even a more prosperous and vibrant future. From COVID-19, we've seen the rapid expansion of telehealth, increasing connectivity gains, greater working remotely opportunities, agile and flexible manufacturing from our regional manufacturers, the migration of so many city residents to their new homes in the country, which we welcome with open arms. And Bernard Salt's been really mapping that transition of urban Australia's embracing our lifestyle and livability out in regional areas. And the ability to truly collaborate with some, not all, of our state and territory counterparts to deliver sensible policy with less red tape for our industries, and that's kept us going, like the code achieved for our national freighters. And as the Deputy Prime Minister outlined in his statement on regional Australia, the regions offer opportunity and, along with it, a quality of life second to none. There is a life with less traffic, a home of big backyards, with reliable, well-paying, sustainable jobs and careers and affordable living. This is regional Australia, where you are connected to your fellow Australian in a very human-like community, and you can also tap in and connect with the natural environment in ways that you can't in our capital cities. And it's not just the National Party that have been saying it. The Business Council of Australia has penned an opinion article recently recognising the key role our regions will play in securing Australia's economic and social recovery. We have the jobs too. I continue to hear and read of unfulfilled jobs out in regional Australia. Everything from high-paying professional careers, those in hospitality, in our fabulous globally focused agriculture industry. And it's absolutely dire for so many in agriculture right now. So many farmers at their wits' ends, not having to plough in bumper crops after fabulous rains to start off the season because they can't get the workers. In Maranoa and the Darling Downs, we've got 10,000 jobs in agriculture that need to be filled just this season. Farmers in Cairns and Wide Bay need 15,000 workers right now. New South Wales grain industry alone was calling for 3,000 at the start of harvest, not to mention the tens of thousands of job vacancies in agriculture in my home state of Victoria, from Shepparton, the Mallee, Gippsland and beyond. The Nationals back incentives to help fill the worker void in the regions. There's up to $6,000 available to cover relocation costs for Australians wanting to head inland. We back the incentives to helping those who want a better life with us out in regional communities. We back tax relief that will boost GDP by $3.5 billion in 2020-21 and $9 billion in 2021-22. Our lower tax approach will help create 50,000 jobs by the end of 2021-22. And the key indicator of success to economic recovery is the number of jobs we create. When we think back on National Party governments of the past, you think of Blackjack McEwen, his backing of the manufacturing, mining and agriculture sectors, driving reforms across international trade frameworks. His one KPI for himself and the Menzies government was full employment. How do we get the increased immigrants that flooded to our shore post-World War II employed in sustainable careers, not just in our capital cities but right throughout regional Australia as well? We're supporting young people to get into tertiary education so they can get the jobs they want in industries where they're needed. And we're supporting the millions of small businesses who are at the heart and soul of rural and regional communities, with a $32 billion in cash flow boost to around 800,000 small businesses. More than 99% of businesses with a turnover up to $5 billion can write off the full value of any eligible asset they purchase for their business. And the Nationals back small business because they employ local people and support local communities like our footy and netball clubs. Small businesses are our innovators, our adapters to change and the value-add champions. This budget is for them, to help them rebuild their communities and our economy through value-added manufacturing. Our $1.5 billion modern manufacturing plan sets 6 priority areas, including regional industries. Because the regions are the perfect place to build advanced manufacturing across food and beverages, minerals and critical resources, defence and sustainable forestry product. I'd like to see the government also back not just our food and beverage industry, but our fabulous fibre industries. Our fabulous fibre industries, whether it is our timber harvesters who have world-class processing facilities, to our wool and even our growing alpaca communities, our cotton gins, etc. We want to be value-adding to those primary products here in regional communities, and I'm looking forward to seeing government support for that. And as we've seen firsthand through the pandemic, Australians are resilient and adaptive. No longer do we need to be reliant on congested cities and high-rise office towers to collaborate and innovate. Our regional small businesses are perfectly placed to pick up the manufacturing baton. We need to encourage businesses out of the cities. City-based small businesses should make the move and make their mark in regional Australian manufacturing. The Nationals' vision is that Australia makes the products Australia needs right here at home. We need to make Australia make again, by investing in industries in the regions where we already produce 32% of the total manufacturing to create jobs. We're building water infrastructure through the National Water Grid to build on our potential. Just add water. We've got everything else we need out in regional communities. We're building rail infrastructure, such as the $10 billion inland rail project to connect producers to markets like never before. Our $5 billion future drought fund, for instance, is about preparing for the future. And in communities right across regional Australia, the Nationals are backing infrastructure. We're backing connected communities, which just isn't about ports, rails and roads. It's about digital connectivity as well, which is why we're proud to be part of a government that's investing $4.5 billion in new upgrades to the NBN. And our mobile black spot program now has more than 850 activated base stations, so businesses can connect to their markets and their customers anywhere in the world. And we've also backed connected communities through our $100 million commitment to regional airports over the next 4 years. This will ensure our regional airports maintain their vital link for regional communities, from food deliveries to healthcare, to transporting our fabulous, fresh, clean, green produce to the markets of the world, to ensuring that our medical professionals can get into regional communities and towns and service our residents. The $50 million public interest news gathering program will provide financial support to our 91 regional media outlets at the time where we need our fourth estate more than ever before. And we don't want capital city newsrooms reporting on us. We want news gathering and news reporting that is from us, that is embedded in our communities, that understands who we are and what we need to hear, not some romanticised version of who they think we are. The fact is the Nationals are working to ensure our nation's recovery through practical investment in industries that will deliver jobs, drive economic growth and give confidence to Australians that together we will get through this pandemic. We're building our sovereign capability, and by doing so we're securing the future of Australia and our nation. Thank you.
Authorised by Bridget McKenzie, National Party of Australia, Wodonga.